Hi, I'm Lori Allred. Welcome to Inspired by Pinterest, where I browse around Pinterest looking for awesome creative pins that inspire me and hopefully you too, and bring them to life each week in this episode. This week we're back to our last part of a three-part series on polymer clay. If you missed the other two, be sure to go back to the show tab on mycraftchannel.com, look for the Inspired by Pinterest logo, click through and you can watch our previous episodes. The first was on clay molds and the second one was on stamping on clay. Now, I'm not a big clay fanatic, but I got totally hooked on this topic when I started and ended up with 3 episodes because I couldn't fit it all into one. This one was the one I was the most apprehensive about doing, transfers on clay. Ended up being my all-time favorite. You guys are going to see why here in a minute. So first, you're going to want to go to my pin board on Pinterest called Polymer Clay. You'll see a lot of inspiring ideas there. The first pin we're going to visit on there is actually from a website called savedbylovecreations.com. She gives a great step-by-step tutorial on how she created this beautiful antique-looking necklace using the image transfer method. And then also, this other one really stood out to me. She took her baby photos and transferred the baby photos to clay and created a beautiful one-of-a-kind necklace. And it's on a blog or website called Hub Pages. Again, you can go to my blog anytime that I mention a blog or a pin, and I will give you a link directly back to that. So you don't have to go hunt for it. You can also find the link directly through Pinterest. So if you're a fanatic like me and on Pinterest all the time, that's a good place to start. So the last one that I actually loved, again, was back on Saved by Love Creations. She is a great reference for this technique. And what I loved is this next one, she talks about creating a pendant, a chevron pendant. And so not only does she give a great step-by-step tutorial on her blog, but she also gives a free download for some really cute chevron prints that you can then use for your project. I thought those were really cute, great variety, good place to start if you're not sure where to get art. I also then went to a website called graphicsfairy.com. All of our artwork on there is royalty free, and you're welcome to pull that off and use it as you'd like. And I just had a lot of fun with pulling off images other than the baby photos. They're most from her website, which I really loved. I had a lot of fun playing with those. Now let's go ahead and get started now that I've shared those pins with you. This is a really fun project. You're going to want to start off with your Sculpey clay or Primo, which is made by Sculpey. You're going to want to condition it in the conditioning machine, or you can do it by hand by rolling it out and softening it up. You're going to want to roll that out at least a 1/4 inch thick. You can do it a little bit thicker if you prefer, so you have a nice flat surface. I'm going to start on my tile so that I can create my project right on the tile and put it in the oven or my little toaster oven, and I don't have to manipulate it with my hands. And I've deformed a lot of projects trying to move them, so it's nice to just start here, or an old cookie sheet works as well. So I've got that laid out. You're going to want to pick your image. Now these I printed off on my inkjet, will not work. There's something about it's water-based ink, it bleeds, it doesn't work. You're going to want to take these up to your local copy shop and make copies on the photocopier, whether in color or black and white. So that's what I did. I went ahead and made some copies for me to start with. And the reason being, I believe, is because copy machines or laser printers have plastic in the ink, is what I read, and it makes it so that this technique works really well on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut out this cute blue and white chevron. Doesn't have to be perfect. I love this technique. It really is a lot of fun. You're going to go ahead and just place it face down right on your clay. Now you're wondering, I'm putting blue on green, what's that going to look like? Well, we're going to find out. So you can buy awesome pearl inks. You're going to want to go ahead and spritz that with just water. Make sure you've coated it really well. Let it sit there for a little bit so that it soaks into that. And while it's doing that, I'm going to show you some beautiful transfers that I did. This is a beautiful sunflower from Graphics Fairy. This beautiful antique looking flower as well is from that website. I did try the baby photo. I did. The lighter one worked out much better than the darker tone one. So I would say this would be my fail. This would be my succeed. I was really excited how those turned out, and I just used a white clay for both of those. Then of course I'm addicted to the black and white. So you can do some amazing things with black and white graphics. I love this beautiful, I want to go ahead and have my mom make a necklace out of that. I thought it turned out really gorgeous. That same image I put on red and then add a little glitter to it. I love the way that looked. And then this beautiful, what do you call this, houndstooth. And then I added one of my cute clay flowers to it to make a necklace. I think that's going to be stunning when I start wearing that. So now that we've let this go ahead and soak, you can see that the design is starting to show through. Make sure you've got a good wet surface. And then very similar to when I taught you the photo transfer technique on canvas, you're going to lightly rub your finger. Now don't apply any pressure because we don't want your cute fingerprint showing up in the design. And you'll see how those stray. Now you don't want to pull too hard, you'll start pulling the color up. So I like to do it in a small circular pattern because it tends to pull up just the right amount of paper as you're doing that to reveal the beautiful color. And believe it or not, I thought the white would transfer, so I was excited to see it didn't. And then I realized the white is actually not an ink, it's just the paper. So I had a lot of fun playing with this. And I can't wait to keep experimenting, create embellishments for my scrapbook layouts. Now you'll see here it's getting a little tough. You can add a little bit more water to it to still keep that moist. And just keep doing it till you feel like you get all those strays off. Now, these you're just going to throw out. Once you get all of those pulled off, I actually don't want this whole square piece. I thought it would be fun to make it into a circle pendant. So once I feel like I've gotten a good surface cleared off, isn't that cool looking? So now I'm going to take my cute, Sculpey makes these awesome little clay cutters or cookie cutters. And I want one about that size, so I can just go ahead and press down, twist a little, peel away what I don't want, cook it, and I've got this awesome charm that I can create with. Again, don't forget, because trust me, I've done this, be sure to put your hole where you want before you cook it. It makes it much easier. Then go ahead and cook it at 275 for a half hour for every 1/4 inch thick that you're working with, and then be sure to coat it when you're done. So here's a couple of examples. This is a really awesome ring that I did with those fun chevrons. Here's a cool necklace charm. Now I wanted that to have a really nice coating on it, so I used my cool glossy accents and put a couple coats on it. I thought it'd be really cool to add a little gem in there too. I should have done that while it was wet. But don't dismiss really fun patterns. I loved how all of these turned out. I'm excited to make a bracelet out of them. And again, back to that awesome black and white. This is printed on translucent clay, and then when it dries you can see the light go through it, which I thought was really cool. So be sure to finish it off using your coating, whether your varnish or your Pledge Floor Shine like I've mentioned, or again your glossy accents, and then you're ready to go. Please share your ideas with me. I'd love to see what you create. Post them on the My Craft Channel website, or go ahead and post it and send me a link. Leave me a comment on my blog at allreddesign.net. Be sure to join me next week when I show you some fun ideas with a new series I'm starting called Door Decor.